good, and did they end Belichick's career?
I think Belichick's a ghost. I think he's gone at the end of the season. I don't think Kraft's going to put up with that crap. 10-6. Did you see Belichick's face at the end of the game? Like this.
Yes.
Like, oh my God, what's happened? I used to be a genius.
The fake to the interception?
Bailey, go get him. Whoops. Are the Colts any good? See, it's a 2-game winning streak, and we're all getting fat and happy, but they beat the Panthers, they beat the Patriots, and both those teams stink on ice. So
that's why I asked.
It's 5-5. Hey, they got the Bucks coming up. The Bucks aren't any great shakes, and then they got the Titans. The Titans are in a free fall. Will Levis can't play dead. I don't know. They can wind up 7-5 and be a crappy team. I'm in. 7-5 crappy. I'm in.
I'm in on 5-5 because I'd say I'm in on a 2-game win streak because the other guys are on scholarship too.
Yeah, right.
And you know the NFL. What do I always say? You just got to win. I don't care about anything else.
Right.
I don't care about cap space or draft picks. And I'll say this: Gardner Minshew makes plays that you're like, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Like he scrambled his nutsack off, went here, there, and he found downs for an unbelievable catch.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's pretty good. Like whether you like him or not.
Hey, he makes the good ones, but then what he's got to avoid are the brain fart plays that cost you the game. Yeah. You can't have that.
No.
So,
but hey, Ken, that other part of it, how bad are the Patriots?
Oh, they're terrible.
How bad?
Really bad. It was awesome. They're bad everywhere. They don't do anything well.
No. That's what I was going to say. They have nothing.
Nothing. Nope.
Ken,
it was awesome.
They didn't have a receiver you were worried about. We talked about it on the show before the game. They didn't have a Stevenson's okay running back.
Right.
But their defense, all right, I did not. I'm going to preface this, and I want you to argue with me.
Yeah.
I had no problem from a coaching perspective taking out Mac Jones and putting in Zappi, and I'm going to tell you why.
Yeah.
You get on the sideline, and you just know it ain't happening with that guy. Well, that interception that he threw short in the end zone, which would have been maybe the game winner.
Yeah.
That would tell me as Belichick, maybe I catch lightning in a bottle here.
Yeah.
That's because there's just times in a game it ain't happening with this guy.
We grew up with this crap, right? Okay, Jack Cannon's not the guy. In comes like Kent Nix or Virgil Carter or Bobby Douglas. Bobby Douglas isn't the guy. So we got Bob Avellini. Avellini isn't the guy. We got Vince Evans. I mean, this nonsensical, grasping at straws never works or almost never works.
No.
But Mac Jones sucks. Mac Jones can't play.
Would you say that it worked? Remember even Terry Bradshaw? It was Terry Hanratty, Joe Gilliam.
Yeah. Front Street Joe.
I saw a report today. This'll be good. Colts fans will like this. Boston Herald reported today that 80%, as many as 80%, they said the vast majority, as many as 80% of the players in the New England locker room are, quote, out on Mac Jones.
That's what 2 and 8 will do to a guy.
No question.
Goners.
No question.
I wonder how many are out on Belichick.
That's a great question.
But nobody will say.
No.
Like they're going to be 100% publicly. No. It's like a Russian election.
Yeah. But in Belichick's case, I'm reading about people saying, well, just make him the head coach, not the GM. Can you imagine Bill Belichick in that building walking around like, God all these years, and all of a sudden, he got demoted. He's not really the guy anymore.
He's got to answer to some 42-year-old.
With an analytics book.
Yeah.
There's no chance.
Like Rick Greenspan with his legal pad and his reading glasses. Now, Coach, why'd we go for it 4th and 2 from our own 29?
Yeah.
I
felt like
that's
an
going to
ass.
work well.
Oh, I'm telling you.
It's a great way to get him to quit.
That is.
I don't know what his contract's like. They never really told us.
The contract, according to 2 guys, one of whom I really trust, was an extension, a lot of money, 5 years. 4 years. That's what I heard. Now,
does it have years left on it?
He just signed.
Oh.
Signed this offseason.
Well, if you want him to go,
that's like
hire somebody over the top of him, and he's going to pack a bag, and he's going to piss on all that cash. Not a bad play. For those of you at home who want to know how to run a company straight into the ground, but reduce expenses, we've been through that shit.
Oh, yeah. All right, did the Colts show anything? They won, so they showed a defensive front. Are we going to give them a good defensive front?
Dio got 3 sacks.
Yeah.
Now, one was he just touched Mac Jones's foot. Mac Jones fell down.
Yeah, I saw that.
That was weird.
You know how big Mac Jones is in person?
No.
Like he's like 6'4",
Is he?
220 to 240.
Really?
Yeah, he's not a little guy, and a little bit of that made him go down.
Whoops.
Fall down, go boom. What are we doing here?
He must have been thinking, even before the game, I got no offensive line. My left tackle is on the shelf today. I got big problems. Anytime I feel pressure, I'm going down. I'm not going to throw a pick. I'm gonna take my medicine, go down, and live to fight another day. Something had to be rolling through his head because that was unexplainable otherwise.
No, either that or you're tanking. Maybe he's throwing off. Gambling is all the rage right now, and maybe he's tanking.
No,
Did the Colts?
you're starting trouble.
Oh God, yeah. 6'3", 220. Yeah, I mean, like he's big, and falling down.
My leg.
My ass hurts. I will say the Colts, and again, I'm the ultimate now that I used to be. You got to win the right way, but I don't. Other than Michigan, I don't care about any of it. Colts got to win. People thought it was Jonathan Taylor's breakout game. I don't know if it was that. Was it that?
No, we had 20 plus carries in less than 70 yards.
I know. But you know what? You know what the over/under was for his number? 66.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I think he hit it. I do. I think I'm going to look here, but yeah, I think
a lot of people are upset that Zack Moss isn't getting carries, and I kind of get it.
I do too.
You want somebody who can hit the home run.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want the doubles hitter, you want the home run hitter.
Yeah.
I want the chains to move. And giving him one carry, I'm not sure that that's the right way to go for this team.
I think it's, I hate to say it's the wrong way, because I don't necessarily believe it's the wrong way, but I also don't believe it's the absolute right way, because it felt like to me that kid was getting yards every way you wanted somebody to get yards. And by that, I mean, he broke one.
Yeah.
He seems like he's a tough runner inside. He plays through contact.
Yep.
And now all of a sudden you're not letting him even be. Oh boy! Now you're not even letting him be a part of it at all.
And he's a nice guy, but he's a businessman and he's got some pride. He knows that he was the number 2 rusher in the NFL.
Exactly.
And there's a lot of cash on the line for that guy, and he wants to play.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
I mean, but let me ask you this. If you were a general manager somewhere else that's going to be looking for a running back, would you think that Zack Moss has done enough to trust him as your number 1
as
running
the lead
back?
Guy?
Yeah. Right? I mean, unless you have a chance to get, a star.
Not to get all wacky, but I'd want to see a guy get 225 carries before I trusted a guy to stay healthy through 225 carries.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. But I'm saying to myself, he was here to start the year, good NFL player.
Yeah.
I think he's going. I mean,
for sure.
Yeah,
he's made himself some money.
Yeah, I think that he would be a guy that it wouldn't be. Oh no, we're not doing that. Or it wouldn't be if we signed him. The fan base is on my ass for signing this guy. It would be, hey, the guy showed himself to be a good running back. He just got caught behind a guy that maybe he's a franchise guy.
And unless somebody comes with a big sack of cash, I'd re-sign him.
I would too.
I'd bring him back, and I'd bring Minshew back as the backup.
I would bring him back.
Even if it cost me a little bit more money.
I think it's going to cost you a little more money.
Yeah.
Now, we're still in the what's going to happen here.
We're 5-5 happy. Yeah.
Bring them all back. build the monster. Yeah, look, hey, Otter Creek, 3 yards of carry. Yeah.
But you know what? He's always 1 carry away from busting one for 60, and then it's 25 for 130, and you feel really, really good about it.
Yeah, I agree. Adrian Peterson
was the same guy. Adrian Peterson was a guy who'd get 280, 2. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like he wasn't moving
Yes.
the pile and getting 4.5 exactly every carry. He was a guy who was getting bits and pieces and then gone.
Yep, I agree.
That's Taylor.
I agree. And I don't think Taylor's a bad runner inside. Look, I don't think there's any negative about Taylor except he gets hurt.
Right.
I mean, or he got hurt. I mean, I think that's the only negative that you can say about Taylor. I don't have a problem with him running inside. I don't have a problem with him running outside. I don't have a problem with him catching the ball. I really don't.
Hey, he got in the end zone.
You're right.
And nobody else did.
Right.
If he didn't get in the end zone, that's a 6-6 game. And
we got
they're
trouble.
playing into the deep, dark night in Frankfurt. You know.
Did you like the 9:30?
Oh, hell yes.
I know.
Let's go. Get it gone. Opened up my day. That was fantastic. I had a great afternoon. All I did was watch football.
Yeah.
But I didn't have to.
No.
You know, it was fun. I enjoyed
We
it.
drove back from St. Louis. By the way, I kind of like St. Louis.
Oh.
I did. I didn't.
You weren't part of the whole fracas with the Anderson University swag and
No.
stolen at the Arch, were you?
No, I was around there. No, I stayed at a nice hotel. The Pennywell was a nice hotel. St. Louis U had a great gym. It was a good game.
Yeah.
And we drove through downtown. Ironically enough, we gave my ex-wife and her boyfriend a ride back to their hotel, which was the Hilton. So we drove through downtown. There was a thing at the Arts, whatever the thing was. I don't know. Let me put it this way. I hated St. Louis and Cincinnati. My least two favorite cities ever. And I was like, okay, with Cincinnati. Some cool architecture.
Did you go to the Broadway Oyster Bar
No.
in St. Louis? Very good. I recommend that place. Good restaurants in St. Louis.
All right, we just went to
my staff,
Yeah.
the staff that worked at 101 ESPN was terrific. I loved them. But the city on the whole,
Sucks.
you can absolutely have.
I'm sure. My bar was so low. And, the lady, the bartender, we had a drink. Lee and I, we got there, put our stuff up, had a drink at the bar, and the lady was great. She made me a fantastic old fashioned. And then we came back and we had, I had deviled eggs. I love deviled eggs. They had great deviled. So anyway, my experience at the Pennywell Hotel was terrific.
Nice.
And we went to the game. We came back. Saw, all right, yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Okay. So it was a very low bar. It didn't go to here. It just didn't go down.
So tell me, Julie and I are going to Nashville for the Colts game December 3rd.
Yeah, me too.
Are you?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, we're going to have a good time.
Look at that. All right.
Yeah.
Well, that's good news. It's so good. I haven't been to Nashville since you guys went to Nashville in the NCAA tournament.
That was my freshman year.
Yeah,
That was
82.
82.
Yeah.
Played at Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
It's changed. It's changed. Yeah, it's changed.
All right.
It's.
That's good.
I'll have a
we
list.
don't travel much.
I'll have a list for you.
Okay.
Where are you staying? I mean,
We're staying in some kind of not an Airbnb, but it's sort of a hotel that's not far from whatever the main drag is.
Broadway.
Yeah.
You'll like.
Okay.
We'll be big. We'll be massive, you and me in Nashville, Broadway. We'll grab a guitar. We'll get up on the stage at Tootsie's. Come see us. But maybe we'll host a Two Big Brains.
A Two Big Brains getaway.
Yeah, maybe we'll go to Toby Keith's place. They all have. It's like Ditka's.
It's an open bar for us.
Yeah,
It's not an open bar for the guests.
It's
the guests have to pay for the hosts.
It's a
We're flipping
pay
it.
your own and pay for us meet and greet. Anyway,
You want to meet us? It's gonna cost you a shot.
it works for me.
It'd be awesome.
Yeah. The Colts, at least, and I wanted to talk to you about this because I think the city is better when the Colts are better. I think the whole vibe.
Yeah, for sure.
And look, 5-5 is not Peyton Manning's years, all that. But you won a couple in a row. You beat the Patriots.
Yeah.
There is that underlying. We do have a quarterback who's out, but our quarterback is functional. I'm good with where the Colts are at right now. You got to win some more. You don't want to go 5-12, but I'm good right. I think it's great for right now.
It kicks hope beyond Thanksgiving weekend, and that's all we wanted when Richardson went down. You just wanted a little bit of hope, a window of hope in December, and you feel it in the locker room. Like there's a good energy in there. Like last year, the energy was just unspeakably horrible. So it's not like they're all glad-handing and pretending. It's really good energy. I think that they're happy. I think that the offensive line is playing really well. I think that with Taylor getting his legs under him, he's getting a little bit better. I think that Downs making that huge play with the bad knee, I thought that was awesome. Defense is coming around a little bit, minus Shaquille Leonard. Do you keep trotting him out there? Is that what you do? Or do you take the risk of poisoning him, turning him off as an enthusiastic witness or participant by saying, you know what, we're all done. Let's be honest, you're terrible. You know
what? Not only is he not good anymore, but he's not willing. Like, I've said this about A.J. Guyton and Luke Recker in Indiana. I couldn't keep my eyes off of them because they were guys that scored but would just kill your team.
Yeah.
Because they weren't bought in. I watched Leonard, man. He gets out of the way a little bit.
Yeah.
He does. And look, I'm not saying I blame him. I'm not saying don't. But I do blame him from this standpoint. You took the money. You took the money and you're doing some bitching. And when fans can see that you're getting out of the way, when fans can see that you're not, as a middle linebacker, what do we think about middle linebackers? Butkus and Nitschke and Singletary, Lambert, all these guys that are just animals, Ray Lewis.
Yeah.
And we got our guy kind of getting out of the way. We see that.
Yeah.
Like, we may not see a corner every play, but you see a middle linebacker on every running play for damn sure.
Well, and out in space, I mean, how many times did we see it when he was unblocked and he just moved either in the wrong direction on purpose or bit on a little juke and couldn't recover back to the tackle? That's not good. You can't have a linebacker who can't make a play in space.
You can't. No, particularly when it's light in the ass and isn't going to go make a play in the middle.
Yeah.
Because I don't feel bad for him. I don't. I wish and I hope that his career would continue, to go the way it seemed like it was early. But everybody knew. I remember Grigson telling me on my show on MS, as an outside, I say it every week, as an outside linebacker, terrific. No chance he can play in the middle and survive in that league. 215, 220.
Yeah.
What do you think of him yapping? What do you think of him talking?
He's just, here's the thing. Here's my take on this. I cannot criticize a guy for being bland and non-committal and be critical of a guy who's transparent and very committal.
I get you.
So I'd rather have a guy who talks like Leonard, who speaks from the heart, which I think he does. It's not contrived. It's what he believes. It may not be what people want to hear, but it's what he believes. I appreciate that level of honesty, even if it provides kind of a negative context to what he's doing.
Yeah, I agree with you. I do. If a guy's speaking from the heart, who am I to criticize that?
Yeah.
I get sideways when guys try to bullshit me like Harbaugh, we're America's team, we're a victim.
That's insulting.
Yeah, that's just like, screw you.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. I tell you one other thing that's interesting about the Colts' last couple games. I'm not saying anybody's perfect, but you really haven't noticed the cornerbacks lately, even without Brents, who we think is going to be pretty good. You haven't been like, oh man, Tony Brown a few games ago was that guy, right?
This is a wacky statistic I saw on Pro Football Focus yesterday. The Colts are the runaway leaders in the NFL in perfectly covered defensive snaps on pass plays. 44%, they have perfect coverage according to Pro Football Focus, and nobody else is really that close. I was stunned. Like, that's not even explainable. You've got Jalen Jones, who's a 7th-round rookie, and you've got
Baker, yeah.
DJ Baker. Like, who would have thought that? Like, that's impossible.
Oh.
But that's what they say. But you're right. Well, again, like Dio Odangbo got to the quarterback 3 times against a decrepit offensive line. The cornerbacks looked good against receivers who suck.
And an offensive a quarterback that sucked and was under pressure.
Yeah.
Combination of suck and under pressure makes corners look good. It makes corners look all right, buddy. It does. But you can only play who you play. You can only line up against who they're lining up.
And never argue with winning.
No.
It's fine. It's good.
When are we? I got a friend with the Colts, and he keeps telling me, Dan, I'm telling you, Alec Pierce. It's going to happen, and it's going to happen this year. I know, and I respect the guy. He knows he's been right many, many times, but it ain't happening.
No, Minshew can't get him the ball down the field,
maybe that's
and that's where he has to do his work.
Okay.
That's his role.
All right.
Like, they can't run everybody short. They can't have
Just
all
keep
the receivers.
routes.
Yeah.
Pick play.
Yeah. Like, he goes deep. He runs out and ups. He runs 20-yard outs, and Minshew can't get the ball there. So what's he going to do? You know, he's a guy in a role that cannot be fed. He's at the end of the buffet, and so he's not going to get, you know, you're just going to walk away with an empty plate.
Yeah, that's it. It's like being after Big Balls Billy and the llama. You ain't eating if you're after the llama and Big BB and BBB, man. You're getting scraps. You're like, hey, we need more over here. We're out of chalupas.
They're not apologetic about it.
No,
either.
God, no. Hey, sorry about it.
Oh, yeah, you wanted food too?
My fupa needs fed. All right, let's talk about the real issue of the day, Ken Sterling. The Indiana basketball Pacers.
Yeah.
The Indiana basketball Hoosiers. Ken, I cannot lie to you. I watched about 3 minutes of it the other night, and I'm like, oh, man, come on. The standing. The defense is one thing, and Woody's been great about it. I love what he's been saying in the post game about, hey, like, we're only playing you clowns if you can play.
But follow it up with that.
That's right. Yeah, go ahead.
No,
Mgbako, what's his name?
Mgbako.
Yeah.
What's he doing?
What is he doing?
Get out. Sit. Don't start this guy. You can't start this guy. Look, people are coming to Indiana because of NIL. And that's absolutely fine. That's the way it works in college basketball. But at some point, they got to grow some roots in Bloomington, understand what the program is, what the heritage is, and go be a part of that culture. And Mgbako doesn't get it at a level that requires Woodson to put him on the floor, so don't.
I agree. I agree. Look, you keep running the same guys out there, the same guys. The theory is eventually they're going to figure it out. You give them reps. I'm for that if a guy's playing hard. Right. I'm for that if a guy, okay, he's not making shots. Well, great. Then, but he's playing hard. Then keep him out there. But when you're not doing what the coach wants to do, I don't give a damn if you're paying this guy a couple $100,000 a year because the Hoosier hysteric idiots raise the money. By the way, can I tell you what I got the other day?
What'd you get?
I got a letter from Woodson. All of us former players. Now's the time to be in on Indiana.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we're supposed to give money to the NIL thing. I sent it back. I go, look. Truthfully, what I said.
Win something.
After the garbage I've watched for 2.5 years, don't ask me for money. Honest to God. Quitting in the NCAA tournament against St. Mary's and quitting against Miami, and now no! It's like, you know what I got too?
What?
This is way back. Woodson and Isaiah sent us a letter asking us to donate to the Bob Knight Hall of Fame. This is before he died. The Bob Knight Hall of Fame, to move him into a special room with Krzyzewski and all these guys. And I'm thinking, wait a second. Isaiah got more money than God. Woodson, the NBA, Woodson is making more money off of apartments that he, Steve Ferguson, and freaking Buckner and those guys own than you'll ever make in your lifetime. We need $150,000. Those two guys take a dump for $150,000. It wasn't important to me to move the Bob Knight era. Stop asking me for money, Indiana. I paid my scholarship back. Leave me alone.
I'm
go to the Hoosier hysteric idiots, and they'll get you money.
When people who've got all the money in the world hit me up for money, I get salty.
I did too.
I don't care much for that.
I did not.
Just write a damn check.
Hey, Woody, you're making, I don't know what, you own I was paying Woodson rent at Jackson Heights. He owned Jackson Heights.
Did he really?
Yes. Steve Ferguson's like the richest dude. Knight hooked up Buckner and May, and then Woodson got involved in
May
it.
owns all the real estate in Bloomington.
That's them.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
That's
all
Woody's, right. And I'm sitting there, and Isaiah's made more, and he's got champagne companies. No. I mean, I had so many former players forward the email to me, go, "Hey, you got to talk on that." They want me to, I'm the spokesman for Indiana players.
Yeah.
Like that.
Well, they know.
Bitch. Yeah, they know.
You'll do it.
Yeah, I'll do it. And then everybody, I got 10 different emails on the one. Hey, now it's time to be in Indiana. The big Indiana.
Yeah.
Give NIL money. Our players are working. And it could not have been less written by Woodson.
Yeah, right.
I'm going to read it to you. Where the hell is this thing? I think I deleted it, but I did send a response saying.
Yeah, I'm sure they enjoyed it.
Yeah. I mean, hey, look. I mean, have a little. But all right, I'm not starting. What's his face?
Mgbako.
But I would have started. I couldn't believe in the who they play opening night, Florida Gulf.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe that the Cups didn't start the second half.
Right.
Cups was the reason Indiana had any shot in that game.
Cups looks like he buys in to what Indiana's saying and what Indiana's always been.
They're also letting us buy a patch, an RMK patch. You too can get the
Will
patch.
they put your initials on the RMK
They
patch
should.
if you buy the? How do you?
I'm going to ask them if I
Can
die.
you resign from these lists?
Oh, you can. You sure can.
Oh, you're gonna. If you die, you want the DD11 on there?
Yeah. Hey, I was there 17 years. What are we doing here, people? It's bullshit. Like, what? What? You're telling me I can't get a DD on there? I'm not saying they should for everyone. Jamarcus Ellis just passed. Rest his soul.
Did he really?
Yeah, he got a car wreck.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, got a bad car wreck. I felt bad for him. Always liked that kid. Weird way. Always liked him. Today's the big day. Look, that's what I said. Hold on. How are we supposed to pay for the garbage we've been? Now we're supposed to pay for the garbage we've been watching for 2.5 years. You can't be serious. Here's what, if you know anything about Woodson, right?
Yeah.
I hope this message finds you well. Fall is here in Bloomington. Yeah, okay, Mike. You said that, Mike? All right. Okay. Today is a big day in that effort. November 4th is the launch of the In for Indiana campaign aimed at enlisting the support of Hoosier Nation to spread awareness of NIL and drive mass participation. Just go to those idiots. Let those idiots walk around and act like idiots. The Hoosier hysterics. Let them raise your money. That's their thing.
Before I invest, and this is what that would be, right? Any expense is an investment.
With no possibility of a return, but yes.
What are these guys going to do with that money?
Right.
Are they going to buy fancy clothes?
I don't trust
them. Are they going to buy, what are they going to do?
Oh, get out. Oh, give me. Here's what they did last year. Hey, we need another, true story. We need another 100,000 for Hood Schifino. That's what they did, middle of the season, for his people. Not giving money to that crap.
No. Where's he? What's he gonna do?
Well, those Hoosier hysterics guys. Woodson's daughter's an intern for him. I ain't gonna say no. This whole thing is intimidated by Mike freaking Woodson, who never won a thing in his life. What are we talking about here? What are we doing? Like, honest to God.
Oh, wait a minute. I need another. I mean, he was. What did he win? They won Big Ten championships.
He won one.
Okay.
With
they won the
7
NIT
pros.
In New
he was
York.
Out.
They beat Purdue.
No, they lost to Purdue. No, he wasn't. They lost to Purdue in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, they did.
Yes, they did.
Sweet 16, right?
Yes. So I never went to the playoffs as a player.
Is that right?
Yes. Huh. I mean, I love him. He's great, but don't come at me with stupid stuff. Not you, Indiana. Jesus.
Well, they better play
Give
well.
Give me another 100,000.
Let me ask you.
Wait a second. Yeah. Give me another 100,000 for a guy that's going to stay here 1 year.
Yeah. What's he going to do?
And he beat Purdue. What's he needed for?
Does anybody ask that?
No.
Okay, Jalen, we got your cash, but how are you going to spend this?
What are we doing?
Yeah.
No, that's and his people. Exact quote to me from allegedly. Let's go allegedly.
Yeah.
Allegedly. Exact quote to me, we need another 100,000 for Schifino and his people. They're his people. I know his uncle's an idiot, Drew Schifino. They had to kick him off of West Virginia, and then Beeline kicked him off West Virginia. But what is his people?
That'd be us in college where we're like, hey, send a text and see if we can rustle up some money. And we'll be your people and see if you can get us.
Oh, my boy Pilar would have been like, hey, I'm coming down this weekend. Think you can get some NIL money?
You settled for cover at the Bluebird.
I want Mike Woodson. What's a cheating guy's name? Rosemond?
Well, allegedly. He's Yasir Roseman.
Okay,
Coach Ya.
and Coach Ya. I want Coach Ya, Coach Hunter, who, don't even get me started on that clown, and Woodson controlling the money I give. That's what I want. Or the Hoosier Hysterics. That's what I want. Yeah, here's $100,000 for you. That seems like a smart thing to do.
Where does the money? The money comes from you guys?
Well, I don't know. I just ran into a guy yesterday. He stopped me. He said, "Hey, I want you to do your radio show." I've been a radio show a long time. From my pickleball tournament. You know, I got Trey Galloway on an NIL deal, and I'm like, "Okay, you're an idiot." Seriously, you're an idiot.
Way to push the right button.
Yeah. He goes, "What do you think it cost me?" And my exact quote was, "Well, since I really don't want to do it, it's going to cost you at least $5,000 per hour."
It's $100,000 for being my people.
Yeah, my people. Hey, let me ask you guys that are Indiana fans a question. You ain't getting this kind of real talk anywhere else, people. Nowhere else. I need $100,000 for my people. Why wouldn't you subscribe now?
Subscribe, like. You want to donate? You can donate now.
Oh, you can
How
donate.
about that? I think you can.
Yeah.
I think we're in that kind of
donate.
place. So, Indiana.
And it will tell you where that money's going. I'll tell you where that money's going. Beer money at Nick's if we go down to Bloomington. Or at the. Go ahead, sorry.
10-point favorites.
9.5.
Is it 9.5?
I saw 9.5 on DraftKings. I got to take that all day.
Indiana?
Yes.
Or Wright State?
No, Indiana.
You just beat Army by 6.
I know, but we're going to learn. I listen to Rap Johns. I listen to
Is this where you're
Bobby
getting your intel?
Morris's son, the guy that emails me.
Jared?
Jared emails me all the time. He's always mad at me. You said this about Braden Smith. I didn't hear shit from Jared after Braden Smith got his ass kicked like I told you he was going to by Fairleigh Dickinson. But yeah, Jared Morris. And then I listen to Rap Johns, Jared Morris, and Ryan Phillips. You know who Ryan Phillips is?
I do.
The other douchebag. Last time I saw Ryan Phillips, I think he was giving Billis a squeezer in Maui.
Jeez.
I do. I think he was. I didn't see his
I like
yet.
Ryan.
He's an asshole.
Ryan, no, you don't like him.
Oh, he is. I don't even know him except for the squeezer. He's a deadbeat asshole. And so is Jared, Bobby Morris's son. Oh, I'm on one.
You've had it with these people.
Oh, I've had it.
The carbuncles around
carbuncles,
media carbuncles around the Indiana program. You are not.
No.
You've never been a fan of those.
No, because they're all little. They're all little Weasley. Just look at Rab Johns, all gooey and fat and stupid, and then the little millennial with his beard. And we're doing a show after, and everybody at Indiana is the greatest player ever. Well, then they should beat Wright State by 10. Those are the guys I listen to. Those are the guys they're the grassroots of Indiana basketball. Fuck.
Let me ask you this.
Please. I can tell you have trepidation asking me that.
Well, I don't know where we're going. But this is like people think that everybody who's been wired into the Indiana basketball program takes all Indiana basketball seriously. Do you look at these guys and say, oh, this is not my Indiana anymore? Or how's that work in your head?
I know that there's only, and I'm not one of them, but there's only the people in the building or Woodson, his staff, and the players that really know what's going on at Indiana. And I also know that for 20-some years, going back to really 1994, when Inside Indiana started with a really good dude named Rick Nodder. Rick was my neighbor. I really liked Rick and Ellen McDonald. And all of a sudden, every Indiana player, it's every year. And I used to tell everybody when I was there in 97, shut up. Like, just shut up. Players would talk to these guys and they would go, well, last year was different. Now we're and it happens so often. So this goes way back. I'm like, just shut up about it. I've told you this, and I said this about Bob Knight, La Costa Nostra, our thing. Yeah. We didn't go out there at night. You weren't talking, and if you did, and you had to talk after a game, you knew it was going to come back on you from Coach Knight. Like if Kitchell told a great story. He goes, well, he said something about I kind of like big moments. He had a shot. And he said, I kind of like big moments. It was totally a throwaway. And night went off. What? The missed switch you made in the first half wasn't a big moment? Wasn't a big moment? The missed blockout you had wasn't a big moment? You know what I mean? It was like, and so you knew, just shut your mouth. But it started in 94. So the answer to your question is, I don't take any of these guys serious. I will say I love what Woodson has been saying by being public about if you don't play the way I want to play, you're not playing. Now that is Indiana-esque to me. That's what Knight used to do because he's getting a message to his team.
How far can he go
I think he can
asserting that? Like, is it like Mgbako, sit your ass down and you're going to sit down like Gene Hackman and Hoosiers? Yeah. My team's on the floor. I'm going with 4. I don't think Woodson would go there. He's not going to play walk-ons ahead of Mgbako. But I
wish he would.
I did
that when my best team, 2002, I had a walk-on. I'm like, screw you. I think we were 25th in the country. No, we never got in the top 25. We got to 26th one time. And we had beaten Michigan. We had beaten Mississippi. Both were in the top 25. And I forget who the player was I benched, but I had a walk-on. I'm like, screw it. You're starting. You're starting. And I kept him out there. And we won the game. And
how do you do?
Oh, good enough. I mean, I kept him out there. And then I'm like, all right. And I don't want, there's other guys on the bench. What's C.J. Gunn doing? Like, give him a shot. Right. I mean, look, you might find, this is what Knight always did. He would, all of a sudden, a guy would start playing. So I did it as a freshman. I was the last guy on the bench at Kentucky, got in the last few minutes, ended up starting the next 8 or 9 games. You don't know what you're going to find until you put somebody in there. But you know what you got if you keep putting the same crap in there.
Right. And that drives people crazy.
And that's why I would start Gabe Cupps ahead of him right now. Right. Gabe's played 2 games. He's played fine. I don't know if he's the savior, but, Indiana does like their white guys. The fans do. They do. People can get mad at that, but they do. And Cupps has played well enough to get a chance over a guy that hasn't played well enough.
At least he's got something to him.
Yeah.
Like that guy, his dad's a coach.
Yes.
He's been taught how to play. He's taught how to comport yourself on the court, how to defend, how to go from point A to point B. And Mgbako closing out on a 3-point shooter like, hey, I can't have it.
No.
I can't watch that crap.
Mgbako is a way lesser version of Romeo Langford. Way lesser version. Like, I don't feel like Mgbako in my time. Now, I haven't watched every minute of every game. I watched a couple minutes against Army. I lied. I did watch some of the first half. And I watched most of the Florida Gulf Coast game, not most, but half. And
you just didn't listen to it.
No, I turned the volume down.
Yeah.
I listened to Robbie Hummel for 1 minute. I'm like, I can't have a Purdue guy doing the first game. What was that, against Florida Gulf Coast?
Yeah. And then he did the second one.
Yeah, I can't. I know he's great. I know he's awesome, blah, blah, but he sounds like Billis, and I can't listen. But anyway. But I'm used to turning it down anyway. But I don't feel like that guy has any interest in playing on this particular team for this particular school. I think his interests in Bako, whatever his name is, lie in his publicity and getting on and getting paid and seeing if he's a draft choice in the NBA, which apparently, according to mock drafts, he is.
Right. He can shoot.
That's what they say.
So
how do we know he can shoot?
I don't know. I saw him make like an 18-footer in the first game, and I was like, "Oh!"
The
guy was up here, and he lifted, and it looked nice, and I was like, "Okay."
Well, you're betting on the come. You're betting on he's a freshman that's going to figure it out. So that's why you would start him, and I get it, but he hasn't earned it, and it's hard to talk about earning if they haven't, and you keep starting him.
Because then that room turns south on everybody.
Then guys start pairing up.
Yeah, right.
They start pairing up, and then you got a problem. I'll tell you what else I didn't really like about it. I didn't like Johnson's comment about, well, we all know where and so are soft. And I'm thinking, and my son even got mad at me. People get mad at me, and I'm like, wait a second here.
Yeah.
We don't know they're soft. He just went and got 20. And you're the guy that sped down college and tried to make a manager take the rap for you.
That's a little soft.
I think so.
Yeah, I think it's
and I'm just sitting there going, just be careful about publicly calling a teammate soft. Like, because it's not like you're this, when I think of tough, hard-nosed Indiana basketball, I'm not thinking of X Johnson.
No.
I'm thinking of this guy's 27 years old. I mean, lead somebody. Don't be a dumbass.
He's 27.
How old is he?
This is year 6. So
6 years ago, I did one of his games at the University of Pittsburgh.
Did you?
Kevin Stallings was the coach, and I said, you know what? If this group stays together, they can be pretty good.
Yeah.
And they all left after that. Stallings got fired. It was chaos. But they lost. And I didn't remember him, but I saw he was on the team, and I figured he probably was a freshman in that game, a good freshman.
Yeah.
But lead somebody. I don't want to walk in a locker room and have some jackass that hasn't won anything calling me soft. And no, that's not right.
Well, like you were saying about Kitchell, if you're going to say that, you better have all your shit together everywhere else.
Yeah.
Like you better embody the opposite of your criticism.
Yes. Yeah, like a guy like Ted or Joey Hillman or everybody told me George Leach and Newton were pretty tough kids. And, okay. But you still, I don't care who you are. You're not going to say that. You don't say that publicly as a player. You just don't.
This may be generational, but as you're going through those names, like I know Joe, not like you know him, but he worked at Emmis for a while. I know Ted a little bit because he and his son Tyler, and Ryan played together in AAU a little bit. You've got this. Every Indiana guy that I know who played during that era has got an edge. There's you can see it in their eyes that if you go this far with them, they're going to come back that far with you, and it's your ass. You know what I mean? Like there's an edge to them, and I don't see that in any of these guys.
No, I don't see.
Is that unfair? I don't know.
No, I tell you what, Buckner probably started the whole thing because Quinn, as much as I like her, I don't even know Quinn, but I listen to him ad nauseum on Pacer broadcasts, and I don't like it. But anyway, he's the first guy. Like Isaiah, Isaiah can smile all you want.
Yeah.
But you go too far with Isaiah, he'll fight you. And I mean legitimately fight you. Not hey, I'll fight you. No. I never saw that out of Woodson, although I'm sure he has it. Kitchell certainly, Whitman absolutely. Landon Turner and Tolbert, no question about it. You can go on and on. Alford,
and the nicest guys in the world.
Alford had that.
That the shit flies.
Yeah. Cheney had that. Cheney didn't have it until he got it.
Yeah.
Like Cheney really was influenced by Coach Knight and the toughness thing. And if anybody remembers him going up against that Morton kid, Dwayne Morton going face to face with him, that even shocked all of us.
Really?
Oh, in '93, yeah, whoa, all right. Because Coverdale has no question had it. Everybody tells me Jeffries, had. I'm sure Zeller had some of that. I know that he had it. Victor had it until he lost it by getting.
Yeah.
But players, even guys you never heard of. Chuck Franz had it. Tony Brown had it. Going back with play. I mean, Jimmy Thomas absolutely had it. Jimmy Thomas you can joke with, and then he would, in his quiet way, pummel you. Like, not physically, physically on the court. But
it meant something to them. They've got, there's an amount of pride.
That's why when you look at overall Indiana with one national champion, one NBA player, all-star, Isaiah, under Knight, and all the national, this is why I talk about TikToks. This is why I talk about do your fucking job. When you don't have the most talent, you have to be the most focused. You have to be the most determined. You have to have that edge, that son of a bitch in you. You have to.
That willingness to bust through what normal people will not.
Yes, right. And so that's why, and I don't expect little Shane Morris or whatever his name is, or Fat Rab Johns or whatever I don't expect them to understand when I talk about this. I don't expect that. But guys that play understand exactly what I'm saying. And they are the ones hitting me. I told you this earlier today. I'm the one that they come to and say, look, Dan, that idiot Miller Kopp wearing a headband specifically for the NCAA tournament is total bullshit about what Indiana's about. Now, Rab Johns and Moore and these guys, Doc, that has nothing. No, they don't know. When you're uber talented, you can wear a headband, you can shave your head back, you can shave your ass and walk, but you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
But when you're not, you've got to have an edge. You've got to have a certain something about you. And to your point, you're making me crazy now because I'm thinking about it. I don't think any of these guys that I can remember in the last 10 years have had that. You're right.
Yeah.
I got to think about that more. Fuck. I get pissed here. You see my eyes go crazy when we're talking about this shit because it's shit what's happening in Indiana basketball right now. Maybe it'll come out. I think they're talented. Maybe it'll get better. But you got to, look. You got to cover tonight at home against Wright State. You got a good coach. They got a good coach. Wright State. Scott Nagy, Dick Nagy's son. It's a good coach.
Really?
Yeah, really good.
The guy from Army, you were right about him. That cat can coach.
Mm-hmm. They're well coached.
And they had that redheaded kid. He had some grit to him.
Yeah.
Like he didn't come in there to get a haircut.
No. He wasn't fucking around.
Right.
That's what he's saying aside. Hey, look. They ain't fucking around. Look, we're fucking around.
Yeah.
They are not.
Yeah.
And I don't care how good you are. I guarantee you the Army guys didn't make TikToks before the game. Maybe they did. I don't know.
I don't think I think the Army frowns on TikTok.
Hey, let's make a TikTok here and go to war. Indiana basketball. Let's make a TikTok and quit against St. Mary's. Come on, peoples. Get with Sterling and I. We're educating you here.
What about UConn over the weekend? This is a game I'm not looking forward to, but they may raise their game because they're playing somebody.
My dad always used to say, don't play to your competition. And he always used to say, and everybody plays to their competition. Yeah. So, you know what? I don't know what UConn has. I know this. The kid that I love for UConn, Jordan Hawkins, who is absolutely phenomenal, he scored 26 two nights ago in the NBA as a rookie. He's one of only two guys to score like 25 plus and some. So they lost him. I know they got the big guy inside, and Danny Hurley does not jack around.
Right.
They ain't making TikToks. Danny Hurley is out. Danny Hurley is the toughest coach on players that doesn't lose players. It's unbelievable. He's like insane. Like the Hurley family is generationally nuts from the dad through Bobby. They're insane, Kent. But Danny's a great dude.
Is he?
Oh, he's a mean, tough, but players love him and they don't leave him.
Is that because he recruits the right kind of players who can take that stuff?
Yeah, it was a lot like Calhoun. Calhoun would get a big-time player. I remember when I bought into Calhoun when he took a kid named Ricky Moore. Ricky Moore, we were trying to recruit him at Indiana. Ricky was from Georgia. And you know what? We didn't get him. Ricky went there, sat on the bench for a while, and then I think he made like the Final Four all-tournament team after sitting on the bench for pretty much 3 years. And I remember watching Ricky Moore go, man, is he tough? And I didn't see, he wasn't tough when he was coming out of Georgia. He was a Southern kid that was a good basketball. He wasn't phenomenal, but he was good, and I liked his makeup. But I bought into Calhoun, and I think Hurley's just like that. I think Hurley's like what Calhoun was. He's going to take you and make you better, and you're going to stay, and you're going to like it. It's weird. I don't know if teams are doing more, or back then teams were doing more good shit for players than we were doing, and that's why they stayed. But it was weird. Calhoun was a mother.
Really?
Oh, legendary. Legendary.
Let me steer this.
Sorry, I'm talking.
No, that's perfect. I love it. Draymond Green.
Out of control.
Should he? First of all, suspensions have not worked. They have not been a deterrent with him. But second of all, did what he did, if another player does it, would he get suspended for 5 games?
Oh, no.
He put Gobert. Here's another question. When did headlocks become chokeholds?
That was a chokehold.
Was it?
That was a chokehold.
He's like, hey.
That wasn't noogies.
Gobert, to his credit or discredit, did look genuinely frightened in the moment. It was kind of like, hey.
Well, so where are you at with this?
I like occasional fights.
I don't mind.
I like the way hockey does it. Every once in a while, you got to take air out of the balloon or it's going to pop. So let guys square off a little bit. I got no problem with what Klay Thompson and the other guy did. And Draymond is nuts, but he pulled Gobert away. Gobert went into the fracas. I don't know if it was Obi Toppin would get a $5,000 fine and it'd be over.
Oh, I agree. I talked to you yesterday on my show, Kermit Washington.
Oh, geez.
And I wanted his opinion of the whole thing. And what a great guy. He punched Rudy Tomjanovich, and he said, look, here's your problem. Here's the problem that he had. He goes, Dan, there were no camera angles. He goes, if people saw different camera angles and saw what I was looking at and then saw Rudy Tomjanovich coming behind me in the middle of a fight after I just gotten punched in the face, they go, they might have had a different opinion. He goes, so not having enough camera angles hurt me. Having too many camera angles hurt Draymond.
Yeah.
Because now you can see it, and then you get up close with the eyes, and you know what? Then the perception comes in. I think Draymond Green is dangerous now. I think Draymond Green. The Otter Creek saw it. He said it was excellent. He was really a good dude, Kermit Washington. But I think Draymond Green is dangerous. I think that Adam Silver is chicken shit of him. I think that the NBA media, the white media, is scared to death of calling out an African-American player. And I think the black media wants to be so much involved in access that they're afraid to call out. And I think Adam Silver is right in the middle. And I think that he should be suspended 20 games. I think he's a nemesis to the NBA. I do, and I don't normally, you know me, I don't normally say that, but I think he's.
And you've always been like a.
I like him.
I
liked him.
You wanted the Pacers to take him.
Yeah. I died for him. Yeah, but now I think he's bought his own shit. He's become a menace. He's become Dennis Rodman, but a real menace. Like Dennis Rodman would flop and do all that, but this guy's trying to hurt people. He tried to hurt his teammate.
That was not good.
Yeah, I just think he's out of control. He's believing his own shit.
All right.
And I don't know. I could be with difference of opinion, but that's what I think. I don't know. If Miles Turner did that, I think the entire city would pay the fine.
Yeah, right.
I think they'd be like, "This is the greatest thing we've ever." But Purdue's still going undefeated. They're still undefeated.
They are undefeated.
Purdue. Yeah, they are.
Who they got next? They got
somebody good.
They going to Maui?
They got
or not Honolulu.
Honolulu. Yeah.
Yeah. So they're going to eventually play somebody good, but they're just tough. They go out and get tough kids, for the most part. Mason Gillis has turned into a really tough kid. Braden Smith, tough kid. Fletcher Lawyer loves hitting big shots.
Yeah.
Caleb First, tough kid.
Tell you what, Edie's a tough kid.
Edie's really tough.
Yeah, he's a tough kid. He takes a beat.
He's developed, guys trust Matt Painter to develop them. It's like they listen to him and they do what they are asked and they become good.
Wait, they listen to the coach and do what is asked.
It's stunning.
And by doing that, they develop. It's
figure.
A shocking turn of events.
But
you're right.
How much money did Matt Painter make each one more?
Oh, God.
You know what I mean?
Oh, God, yes. Etuan Moore was not an NBA player.
No.
But he became a long-time NBA player. Oh, yeah. I'm curious because every time I watch Edie, and I watch the NBA, not that much, but enough, I got to believe there's a place for him. Now, I don't know. I don't know. I think the NBA is so much dictated by the team you go to and the opportunity, time and place,
sure.
Right?
Like Trace Jackson Davis. If he went to the wrong place, he'd not come play.
Yeah.
He's playing.
It's like, Robert Horry made his own place late.
Yeah.
But early he was Steve Kerr, right place, right place.
Yeah.
So I don't know where, but I will tell you this. The more I watched Purdue, and I did watch them because I wanted to see them against Xavier, I'm not necessarily going to say the better they seemed, but the tougher they seemed. And with their talent level, depth, and of course the big guy to bail everything out, they're a rush to court team, man. You beat them, you're rushing the court.
Does kind of the success of bigs in the NBA, like Wembanyama and Porzingis, your guy with the bad face, we all remember that. Jokic, all these guys playing at a high level as a big, does that help Edie and in his evaluation because they've seen other guys do it?
He's not the same guy like Porzingis, by the way. The only thing I said was the team that drafted him as the number 1 or 2 pick would not get out of the lottery, and they didn't. Anyway, talented player. But because the number 2 pick's supposed to lead you somewhere, at least when he's 7-1 and everybody was telling me he's a unicorn. I think they're all different than Edie, and I don't know if I think that hurts Edie.
Yeah.
Like all the guys you mentioned, like Porzingis can really run. Wembanyama can really move, right? Who else did you mention?
Well, and Jokic is just a great passer.
Yeah. The one guy that I would say that he's maybe like, certainly coming out of college, but he's bigger than, is Karl Anthony Towns.
Yeah.
Who's pretty much a block guy. And now Karl Anthony Towns, I was just reading the other day, he's disposable. Like, they don't think they can get anything for him. At one point, he was an all-star, the up-and-coming guy.
Right.
So, because I look at, I would say, wouldn't you say that Edey was strictly a post guy?
Yeah, I don't think
he's not even a free throw level guy. Is he?
Right. No.
Oh.
But I don't know. Maybe it's not his role, and we don't see it. I don't know.
That's why I was hoping Jackson Davis would show that he can shoot a little bit in the NBA. Maybe he will.
Man, he sure didn't. He didn't.
No.
He took 1 3 that I saw, and that was like a half-court shot. And I don't think they counted it.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, it's like it shows up as no
Maybe
three-point
he didn't hit the
attempts.
rim and it was a pass.
Oh, that could be.
That could be. But man, I gotta feel. There used to be, every NBA team had 2 big 7-footers at the end of the bench. Hell, the Plumlee's littlest brother, who went to like the Navy SEALs, was on. I'm walking out there. I did one NBA game, Knicks and Oklahoma City, and I walk out there early in the game, me and Van Gundy, and there's like the third Plumlee. And I looked at my notes, they wasn't on the roster. I go, what are you doing? I'm on the Knicks. Well, you got a Knicks shirt. Somebody's working you out. Oh, wow. Every team's got a 7-foot white guy, right? I mean, like, okay.
If the Plumlees can play, Edey ought to be able to play.
Well, Mason can really play.
Yeah.
Mason can really
And
play.
then you have Miles.
Yeah.
And then you got the third Plumlee.
It was an M. Morgan?
Who's like that Gibb brother with a hat. Nobody knows who the hell
Except
that
he
guy
won
was.
a national championship at Duke with Shire as a starter.
Really?
Yes, right here. It was unbelievable. It was a Butler game when Gordon Hayward almost made a miracle. Yes, like come on. But I don't know. I'm telling you right now. Now it changes the way, unless it changes tonight. Indiana can't play with Purdue.
Oh no,
not right now. No, they got long. Now again, who knows what's going to happen? But right now, I'll tell you who else is damn good is Michigan. Whoo! I watched Michigan the other night blow out St. John's in a game that Michigan was the underdog. They were 2-point dog.
I love listening to Phil Martelli talk to his team. He's just the best. He's like, well, of course we're going to out-rebound them. We're big. Look at you. You're big. Go get rebounds. That's his timeout. All right. Who can argue with that? I like Phil Martelli a lot. Yeah.
He's done a great job. I mean, look, Howard has been out the entire fall with a heart thing.
Yeah.
And Martelli's been the coach. And I'm telling you, man, they looked so good. And then I remembered, wait, they lost Hunter Dickinson and they lost Howard's kid was a first-round draft choice. But they looked so good. Like both teams were just unloading shots early. And you kind of knew that one of these two teams ain't doing that all game, or both. And St. John's had no chance. And, man.
How about Dickinson for Kansas?
Wow.
Holy crap. Good night, Kentucky.
Ooh, Kentucky. You're from down there. You know the passion.
Yeah.
You think Kentucky fans are happy with the last few years at Calipari?
I don't think so. No. And they do, well, they didn't like, at the end, they really didn't like Tubby. They never liked Gillespie. No. That was the worst hire ever. They didn't care much for Joe B. Hall. He won it in 78. And then he had guys who you mentioned, like Charlie Hurt and Derek Horde and Turpin. Mm-hmm. And you could see those Minifield, their production. He was like the anti-Matt Painter, where their production over time slid. They didn't build, they decayed. And so people were upset with that.
He just reminded me of something. I've always said about Indiana basketball, and it's probably the same with Kentucky. Nobody, as a head coach at Indiana, leaves any other way than awful. No one has ever left, and it's been well. Branch McCracken was pissed. He wanted to come back and coach. Lou Watson got shit canned. He was pissed. Jerry Oliver got, Knight certainly didn't leave on good terms.
Right.
Davis didn't leave.
Wow,
Green didn't leave. I didn't leave. Everybody there. Every head coach at Indiana. Now, you're saying the same thing about Kentucky.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, every head coach you mentioned left on bad terms.
Yeah.
Indiana, I mean,
Sutton?
Oh, oof. God, yeah. Yeah. I'm telling you, Eddie Gillespie was probably the worst, but he was swimming upstream because Calipari, Kentucky fans felt like was doing them a favor by being the coach. They always wanted. Gillespie, they felt like they were doing Gillespie a favor. by making him the coach, and that's never good. But I'm telling you, Indiana basketball coach, head coach, has never ended well.
No.
And Kentucky, it'll be interesting to see how this goes with Woody. It's interesting.
Well, they better get their asses out of, or their heads out of their asses.
They got to cover tonight. 9.5.
I would stay away from
I
it
am.
like it was infected.
I am. I'm staying away from it like it was gonorrhea. But I got to tell you, man, that is not good.
I'm excited you're going to Nashville.
Yeah.
This is very exciting.
Hey, Lee!
We decided months ago.
Lee! Oh, I was going to tell her the Sterlings are going to be in Nashville. We gave away at my golf outing, Mike Vrabel called me, sent me a bike. He follows me on Twitter. And I texted him. I said, can I get 2 tickets to give away to the Colts at Titans game? He goes, I'll do you better. I'm giving you 4 sideline passes and 4 box seats, my seats.
Wow.
So my brother won the auction. I don't know what he paid. He paid a lot of money. So I guess my wife and I and his wife were going to go down there, and then I'm headed to Florida.
Sweet.
Yeah. The wheelbarrow cheer is incredible for my golf outing. Sean Black got the wheelbarrow cheer. That thing will last a lifetime unless you're like...
It better.
Anything else we didn't cover? Pacers
No,
are fun. Pacers are fun.
If only people could watch them, that'd be wonderful.
Unbelievable.
The Sun. How about this? The Suns had a similar deal. All right, and so the Suns said, "To hell with all of this. We're putting it on free TV." 6 times the viewership over like a Channel 8 type of portal. 6 times the viewership. You know what that means in terms of like swag, ticket sales, all that shit? It's unbelievable that the Pacers have not grasped this concept yet. It's horrifying. I don't know how do you run a business this way? I just hate it. It drives me nuts that people can't watch it. People who want to watch can't, and Halliburton's rolling.
Halliburton's as good as any.
Yeah.
I mean, my God, what did he go, 35-14 with no turnovers?
15. Because it's the first Pacer ever with 30-plus and 15-plus in the same game.
Is that right?
Yeah, with 15 being assists.
Yeah. Wow.
Surprising.
I bet somebody did it with rebounds. But then you had the no turnovers in. Holy shit.
Yeah, right.
That's MVP.
Yeah. If he stays healthy, they can win games. And he's like bought into this in-season tournament craziness. He wants to win that thing.
What do you think about the courts?
I hate them. It's everything that I think is wrong. It's all about flash and hey, look at what we've done. It's like they're trying to distract from the game itself, and I hate that.
I agree.
The game's beautiful enough. Wasn't the game nice on the parquet floor at Boston Garden with Kuzi and Havlicek and Russell and Sam Jones? That was a good game. You didn't need fancy-ass courts. And then Al McGuire came along, and all of a sudden Marquette had
the Bradley Center went nuts. Yeah. You know who started this ridiculous trend, and you're not going to believe me, but it's true. Professional bowling. When you watch professional bowling on Saturdays, it was Chris Schenkel and Mark Anthony or whatever his name was.
Nelson Burton Jr.
Yeah. Now they got strobe lights.
Yeah.
They do, like
people all lined down the
Yeah, and you're like, what?
Have you ever gone to one?
No, they had one here.
Yeah.
Did you go? How was it?
We had great seats. We were right in the camera, and Ryan was at Loyola. I got out my cell phone. I was like, turn on bowling on ABC or on ESPN. We're like, hey. He's like, geez.
They're great seats. Was it a fun thing to watch?
It was okay.
Yeah.
Norm Duke won, I think.
Oh, he's the
man.
man.
I mean, it's easy to follow. You know how the point system works. If it's got a scoreboard, I'm in. You know, if I can figure out how scores kept, like cricket, I can't watch because I have no idea how it works.
Rugby, no.
Bowling, I'm in.
Yeah.
It was fun.
You're right. Yeah. I don't understand cross country, but I'm sure it's not hard. So anyway.
Cross country running?
Yeah.
Well, you say go, and then the first person to cross the line, they win.
It's the lowest score wins.
Oh, because of you came in first, you get X number of points.
I think it's the lowest score. Yeah. Like there's only a few sports the lowest score. Golf is one of them. The team thing. That's what I'm talking about.
Good point. All right. Make sure and subscribe.
And send us money.
Yeah. And we'll see you in Nashville.
Yeah.
Fill your pockets with cash because we're thirsty.
Yeah.